Greetings, Starfighter. You have been recruited by the Star League to defend the frontier against Zur and the Kodan Armada. Get ready? Prepare for blast off.
Your fortress of solitude.
Greetings, program.
Glad you're alive.
Your sanctum sanctorum.
Resistance is futile.
Welcome.
This your first triumph. This is where the fun begins.
Proof positive that geeks have inherited the earth.
It's showtime.
It's time to get your geek on.
You complete me.
With Dave Gramillion.
Hello, everybody out there. I am Dave Gramillion. Welcome to Get Your Geek On, powered by the Texas Renaissance Festival. With over 650,000 people attending the event from September 29th to November 25th, get your tickets at texasrenfest.com. This is the premier talk radio show for Star Wars, Star Trek, DC, Marvel, eSports, really all things geek that have dominated this little world of ours. You see, geek is not what it was 20 or 30 years ago. Geek is in. Geek is very in. Geek is now the mainstream, and we are here to talk the latest and greatest that is geek right here on Freedom 1160 Talk Radio and freedom1160.com. This is Season 3, Episode 4, and today we've got some Marvel news. Yes, indeed. Ant-Man and the Wasp is out. If you have not seen it yet, go see it after you listen to the show, of course. Are we going to get a Howard the Duck reboot? Or is that really going to be a thing? We'll talk about that. Some big-time eSports news came out, including the World Electronic Sports Games with a $5.5 million prize pool up for grabs. We're going to tell you more about that. Also, are we going to see eSports in the Olympics? It's entirely possible that it's coming to an Olympics near you. We also have a little bit of Star Wars news we're going to talk about. James Gunn, who was the director of Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2, says that people who hate The Last Jedi need to get therapy. We'll be talking more about exactly what he said and whether or not we're going to be booking our appointments here. We pretty much all undergo therapy here in the studio anyway, but this may be a little something different. Also, the first half of the year is officially in the books. This is the first show that we have in the month of July. So now that the first 6 months are down and gone, what are we looking forward to in the second half of the year, and who won, who lost the first half of the year 2018? But before I can get things going here, let me introduce my motley crew here in the studio with us. On my left, your right, as you look across the radio dial, you will see our young man here who is filling in for Minion while he is on hiatus. He is Alex Chavez, and we have an official nickname for him. That's right. We put the poll up on Facebook.com/GYGO Radio. The people have spoken. That's right. 69% voted in favor of the name Clickbait. So that's pretty cool. Clickbait, welcome here.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I thought you had a sound clip or something. So that's what I was kind of waiting.
That's about right.
Yeah, no, I'm excited about my new name.
I was waiting for somebody to be quiet so I could play it.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, hush. All right. Well, whatever.
Jeez. Yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm ready to bait all of the clicks.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
So we now have Clickbait in the house. It'll be your new nickname going forward, as voted by the people. So you can say thank you to the people.
Yeah, thank you to the people for sticking me with that.
If you look further to my left, your right, across the radio dial, you will see the man spinning the ones and zeros. He is our sound prognosticator, and he is Goose.
No, there's two O's in Goose.
Goose, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad. Not too shabby at all. You have a good 4th?
I did. A lot of travel. Had to, deal with the funeral. But other than that, it was good.
Well, that's not a good way to spend the 4th.
It's
that's
not.
not how.
But there's worse ways to spend it.
Well, that's true.
Like being the person at the front.
Oh, okay.
Wow, we went there in a hurry, didn't we?
Just saying, there's worse ways, man.
That was great.
All right, so with that being said, I want to get a little news out of the way here. When we first started up this show, we were introducing ourselves to San Antonio, and we dedicated the entire month of August to San Antonio itself. Yes, we are a nationwide and in some cases international talk radio show. But we like to remember our roots. We like to remember where we're from. We like to remember that we are San Antonio strong. So this month of August as well, I will be opening it up and inviting people to come into studio with us the movers and shakers, the heads of the geeky families, so to speak, here in San Antonio. And so we'll have a guest on each and every week in the month of August to talk about their little geeky corner of the San Antonio realm. So that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that. That's also, well, let's see, since it's already... We're already into the...
We've got like 3 or 4 weeks to come up with people.
Yeah, so I probably ought to get on that at some point. I guess I'll probably wait at least 3 weeks before I, actually really get into it.
Yeah, that's when you do your best work.
That's true. That's true. In some ways, I never left college. I still crammed to the absolute last second. So.
I'm not saying I'm a procrastinator here. I'm just saying I work well under pressure, all right?
Exactly. Hey, I like to quote the great Thomas Jefferson, who on the 3rd of July, 1776, famously said, "Oh, crap, that's due tomorrow?" Alrighty, so with that being said, so let's go ahead and we'll crack open the news portion of our show here, and we're going to go right into some Marvel news.
This is that sequel to the smash hit with no equal.
And this is brought to you by our friends over at Havoc, the heroes and villains of cosplay here in San Antonio. Doesn't matter what you cosplay. You don't have to be a Jedi or a Sith. You can be whatever you want to be. That's the beauty of Havoc. Come cosplay as whatever you want to be. You can find them on Facebook. You can talk to them. They'll talk to you. Our friends at the Heroes and Villains of Cosplay. All right, so Ant-Man and the Wasp is out. It is finally here, the long-anticipated sequel. Not really long anticipated, but so I got to go see it. I got the early press screening. I don't think y'all have seen it just yet.
No, not yet.
No.
But y'all planning to, I hope
not
at
as
some
cool.
point.
I'm seeing it. I've seen it. I mean, I will see it. Yes.
I'm
Sorry.
going to say, and I keep my reviews always spoiler free, but here it is. First of all, best mid-credits scene ever.
Really?
See, that's a big deal.
There were audible gasps and people going, "No! Oh my! No! Really? Whoa!" I mean,
that's great.
The audience
that makes me so
out,
excited.
So
out
it's an Infinity War tie-in.
Well, I don't know about that.
Oh, based on your reaction, that tells me Infinity War is all over that.
You're digging too into this. You're borderlining on the spoilers.
I don't know. Maybe they're introducing a new character that we're going to see.
True.
I'm just saying for Ant-Man, there's going to be an Ant-Man 3,
Maybe
obviously,
Ant-Man
but
buys a new pair of shoes in the mid-credit scene, and they're so cheap the audience is like, what? I never know.
Maybe Ant-Man is like running along a desk, and all of a sudden this big bottle of Raid comes out, and it cuts to black.
Oh.
Could be. I don't know.
Sets up part 3 perfectly.
You never know. So, best mid-credit scene ever. I liked the film. However, it is unremarkable. But what I mean by that, people are going to immediately take that the wrong way, like, oh my God, he's slamming it. No. What I mean is that, the fate of the world does not hang in the balance.
Well, that's good.
The fate of the galaxy does not hang in the balance. There are not going to be billions upon billions of people that will die if Ant-Man doesn't save the day, or the Wasp.
Now, is that a bad thing, though?
Not really.
Okay.
It is very grounded. It's very down to earth. I just don't want people to go into this movie thinking that it's this grandiose Iron Man, Thor, Hulk movie. It's not that. It's very down to earth. The scales in the balance are very small, but you like that. You like that.
We were both waiting, I think, for that.
But it's still very well done. I don't think it's as good as the first one.
Really?
But I also said the same thing about Incredibles 2. I didn't think it was as good as the first one, but it's still a very good film. That doesn't mean that this is a DC movie.
Yeah.
Stop yourself.
But I do think that people are going to like this movie. I think people are going to want to see this movie, and it was still really well put together. Walton Goggins, who we interviewed, is in this movie. Guy, wow, he did a fantastic job.
Talk about small. That's small is the space between you and him at Comic Palooza.
Yeah, boy, no kidding.
Good night.
The girl who plays Cassie, who is Ant-Man's daughter, she did a great job.
Oh, wow.
She did a great job. You can tell she's a little older in this one, but the moments that she's in there she was great. She really was. I don't want to give too much away. I really don't, but I think y'all are going to like Ant-Man and the Wasp. The end credits scene, by the way, that's a throwaway. You could actually leave after the mid credits, and you won't really miss much of anything at all.
Kind of like the end credit of Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Yeah,
where it was just Cap there,
pretty much
for nothing. Yeah,
he's like, "Oh, hey, thanks, you had patience, but nothing here." It's a throwaway. The end credits is, but the mid credits scene, guaranteed. If you see it opening weekend, or you already have seen it, there will be people in the movie that will gasp, that will audibly gasp. You'll love it. You absolutely love it. All right, so speaking of Marvel. is the Howard the Duck reboot actually going to happen? We talked about this last month. Leah Thompson pitched it to Marvel. She wants a Howard the Duck reboot.
Who doesn't?
Just about everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a great movie.
That was not a great movie.
It's one of those time capsule movies.
Look, it had Steven Spielberg.
Cult
it had Leah
classics.
Thompson.
Yeah.
It had the bad guy from Ferris Bueller. How could it not be a great movie?
Because it wasn't.
Because it wasn't. It was about a talking duck who almost had sex with Leah Thompson.
That's the only thing I took away from that movie. Like,
Yeah,
I think of
that's
Howard the
pretty much
Duck,
it.
and I'm like, that 5 minutes was kind of cool.
Yeah,
that was all.
that was about it. So Leah Thompson pitched it last month,
gosh.
and now she came out and said that Marvel has a, quote, slight appetite for it, meaning they didn't turn her down on the spot. They'll probably wait a little bit to turn her down later, at least I hope.
Yeah.
But this does kind of tie in a little bit with what Kevin Feige wants going forward after Avengers 4. He said he wants a more cosmic take on the MCU, meaning less Earth, more space. You know, more people out in space, different planets, different realms, different galaxies, that sort of thing. We've done Earth to death, so we're good for that. He said, quote, "It's one of the reasons we've expanded to 3 films a year." By the way, Star Wars fans who are complaining about 1 film a year, yeah. Anyway, so he goes on to say, yeah, so the reason they've expanded to 3 films a year is so that we could do sequels to films that people have responded to, because we love to make continuing stories with characters people have responded to, but also keep doing the stuff that nobody's ever heard of, and people go, why are you doing that? That's fun. That was an interview he gave to Cinema Blend. So, cosmic, that's Howard the Duck. Some people asking, why are you doing that? That's Howard the Duck.
Yep.
And something that would be fun to do, that would be Howard. That would be
That's
Howard the Duck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
so-
ask Leah Thompson.
I was trying to think of a radio appropriate way to make that joke, and I couldn't. But
Yeah.
I'm glad Goose just swooped in and got that done.
Now, I would actually, considering what Marvel has done in the past with Guardians of the Galaxy, Ant-Man, and movies that you just didn't think would be these box office blockbusters, I would not be totally opposed to a Howard the Duck movie, but I also think Rocket deserves a standalone. I think we should have a Rocket Raccoon standalone movie. How much fun would that be?
I can definitely see it being. I would prefer if it's a Rocket and Groot movie, not solely Rocket.
Right.
Because I feel like a big part of that character is the banter that he has
The
with Groot.
relationship.
Yeah.
I could totally see that, like a prequel before he was in the Guardians of the Galaxy, where they're out bounty hunting or doing whatever it is that they're doing.
Like do Solo with Rocket and Groot, except good.
Hey, Solo wasn't that bad.
I know. I'm just
Okay.
playing off how
Oh,
everybody
okay,
else
yeah.
claims it's terrible, but it's not.
Yeah, that was a pretty good film. Goose, what did you think of Solo?
Hadn't seen it yet.
Oh, okay. Oh, you were too busy watching Deadpool 2.
No, I hadn't seen that yet.
It was because you were busy watching Incredibles 1.
No, I hadn't seen that yet.
Was that because you were busy watching The Room?
No.
Okay, we're gonna stop.
Okay, yeah, that'll work. All right, so who do you think should voice Howard the Duck? Now, for me personally, I'm going with Seth MacFarlane.
That's good.
I think Seth would be a terrific voice actor and would nail Howard the Duck.
Yeah,
Clickbait, what do you got?
Thank you for calling me by my natural given name. I honestly would not know who could do a good Howard the Duck. The Seth MacFarlane sounds like a great choice, but there's no one that comes to mind that I think can kind of do that. Who did it in the first movie?
Who did it in Guardians?
Who did?
I wouldn't
who
want
the
that.
Guardians?
Whoever did it, I wouldn't want that.
No, but he wasn't
Oh, who did
Howard at the end
Duck?
of Guardians when they did that after credit scene in Nowhere.
Yeah, I know
Where
what
the
you're talking
collector
about.
had Howard.
Whoever it was, I do not want them doing it. I didn't dig it. I didn't dig the.
You didn't dig them. Did you not dig the model or not dig the voice?
Well, the model I think is fine. I think they would need to update it if they were to do a full-fledged film.
According to this, it was Seth Green.
Oh,
Okay, I'm good with Seth Green.
I just kinda
It'd also be fun if William Shatner played Howard's dad.
Oh, I can see that.
You know who the puppeteer was for Howard?
Who?
Our very own Tim Rose out in the UK. Same guy who did Admiral Akbar.
Yeah,
Oh,
buddy.
wow. That's really awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hey, I did see The Incredibles 2, and it was really good.
That's
I
cool.
enjoyed it.
You like that one?
I did.
All right, well, that's good news.
You liked it better than the first one by default then, right?
By default, yeah.
So here's the big question then. Should Howard the Duck be CG or a puppet?
A CG.
CG.
CG. If they can do a movie with the Hulk being a primary character and make that look good, they can do it with Howard the Duck.
Yeah, that would make sense.
No, they did it with Rocket and with Groot, so.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so moving on now, let's go ahead and we're going to shift to the world of esports. Guys, believe me, this thing is going to blow up huge. Let's talk video games. What was that face?
I just was not amused with the
with
the song choice for that. I mean,
you
I
serious?
get it, but I just
That was the weirdest face.
it was too early 2000s for me.
Well, you know what's going to be around the corner before you know it is going to be the Texas Renaissance Festival.
Yes.
And that is going to start September 29th. That we're 81 days away from the Texas Renaissance Festival. Guys, this is going to be a huge, massive event. It goes on for 9 weeks. Season passes are on sale. Campgrounds, I'm told, are sold out, but there might be a few spots left, so you may want to check that out. Themed weekends, Oktoberfest, 1001 Dreams, Barbarian Invasion.
All right.
Pirate Adventure, All Hallows Eve, Roman Bacchanal, I think is what it's called. Highland Fling and Celtic Christmas. We'll wrap it up over at the Texas Renaissance Festival. Guys, it's one of the largest, if not the largest, Renaissance festival in North America. It's held outside, like to the northwest of Houston a little bit.
Yeah.
200 acres of campgrounds. This place is phenomenal. If you have not checked out TexasRenFest.com, you need to check out TexasRenFest.com and also be sure to get your tickets over at TexRenFest.com. That's
all right.
Let me make sure it's TexRenFest.com. Alrighty, so we don't often talk esports on here, at least not as much as I would like, because honest to God, there's so much to cover. You got PUBG, you got League of Legends, you've got Dota 2, you've got Fortnite, Overwatch League, you got Counter-Strike, StarCraft 2, Hearthstone, Vainglory, Pro Evolution Soccer, FIFA, and so on. I mean,
Wait, they found a way to monetize
on.
StarCraft 2?
Yes, they did. Oh, yes, they did.
Oh, my.
In a big way. And now we get word, this is going to be huge. The World Electronic Sports Games, 2018 to 2019, will start U.S. qualifiers in September. Covers 6 different games, which is Dota 2, StarCraft 2, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Hearthstone, Vainglory, and Pro Evolution Soccer. They're going to have 65,000 players from 206 countries going out for this, with a prize pool of $5.5 million.
God.
Kids, never let your parents tell you that you don't gain anything from playing video games.
I mean, it's incredible. Yeah. I've never heard of an event this size before. 65,000 players from 206 countries. Wow. That's literally almost the entire planet.
Gosh.
My goodness.
I mean, I can't even begin to fathom the size of this event, trying to put this into perspective. Now, if you want to talk about the largest prize pools ever in esports, well, this actually is like maybe top 5. The largest come out of Dota 2. The top 4 largest prize pools in esports history, 2014, 15, 16, and 17, all Dota 2. Last year, the prize pool was $24.6 million.
Gosh.
Or as LeBron James calls it, a Tuesday. But
yeah.
So there's big money out there. This actually came, and where did I find this? Where did I find this info? Forbes. Forbes magazine was reporting on esports.
There you go.
I mean, this is incredible. So it's only going to get bigger from here. Sackman and Golds, or is it Goldman?
It's Goldman Sachs.
Sorry, yeah, Goldman Sachs. Hello. Goldman Sachs reported that by 2022, that esports will have 300 million viewers, or roughly the same audience as the NFL.
It baffles me how every year this industry continues to just grow a ridiculous amount, and every year everyone goes, "Oh, this is probably the peak. Like this is it," and then it continues to just get ridiculous.
I mean, it's insane. Jack in the Box now sponsors esports.
Yeah.
I mean, in addition, you figure Red Bull is gonna that's a given, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Red Bull, but now Jack in the Box is getting in this. Robert Kraft, who owns the Patriots, owns an esports team.
Really, I had no idea. That's amazing.
The NFL is going to have every team in their franchise have an NFL Madden esports team.
Oh, wow. That makes a lot of sense.
A lot of basketball teams have esports teams. I mean, this is not going anywhere anytime soon.
Great. The Super Bowl show just got like 3 hours longer now.
Yeah, right.
That's about
when
right.
are the Spurs getting their esports team?
I'm starting to wonder. I wish San Antonio would get on the ball. I really wish they would.
Wouldn't that be funny, though, if we did that and, like, let's say You know, for example, like Duncan does terrible that season, but eSports Duncan does amazing.
Oh yeah. Oh, that'd be phenomenal. I would love that.
Wait, will eSports Duncan come out of retirement?
I don't know.
There's probably a code for that.
This is true.
Up,
it's a
up,
cheat
up,
code.
Up, down, left, right, left, right.
The commentators could be like,
He's a pre-order playable character.
Oh yeah, that would make sense. So get this. All right, so not only are we getting this $5.5 million, 206 country prize pool event extravaganza, but now the International Olympic Committee has announced plans to host an eSports forum in partnership with the Global Association for International Sports Federation on July 21st in Switzerland. So that's literally coming right around the corner here. Esports will feature as a demonstration event at the 18th Asian Games. That's this August 18th to September 2nd, and is expected to be upgraded to a full medal sport in the 19th Asian Games in 2022. Okay, so big deal. Asian Games. Who cares? At least on our side of the planet. But get this. Get this. They are now going to seriously consider esports to be an Olympic event at the Paris Games in 2024.
Yeah, they should. You know how many
You think so?
You know how many thumb push-ups it takes to get good at that?
You laugh.
No, I've seen like
they actually do thumb push-ups.
Yeah. Well, not literally thumb push-ups, but like they do like exercises.
Oh,
So
yeah, they
their
absolutely
hands
do.
can be like limber and be able to move around.
Some of the best esports players in the world can do up to 10 to 14 actions per second.
Jeez.
When the action really gets intense.
Yeah.
Now, I know people laugh at the idea of esports, the guy who wins the 100 meter dash or the javelin being right next to somebody who just won League of Legends.
Yeah.
But, previous Olympic events have included things like the trampoline.
Hey, I like the trampoline.
As an Olympic event, you like that one? How about pigeon shooting?
Why not?
They actually shot live pigeons.
Oh, like live pigeons, not even clay pigeons.
No. They killed like 300 live pigeons.
Oh my goodness!
This was an Olympics that was around.
We're gonna eat well that night, right?
That's true. That's true. They're like, audience, if you catch them, you eat them.
Yeah, it was just one time.
Oh,
it was just once, but they did that.
Way to be boring.
Race walking was an Olympic event.
Race walking.
Yes.
Race walking.
It took place in the mall around 7 a.m.
Around 7 a.m. before the Country Kitchen buffet opened up.
Man,
croquet was an Olympic event.
Wow. Yes,
croquet.
That was the London 1954 Olympic Games.
Jeez.
And also, this is my favorite: solo synchronized swimming was an Olympic event.
Solo synchronized swimming.
Yes.
That was the audition for the movie that just came out.
Wow. Yeah. So those were Olympic events. So I mean, why not esports?
They should bring back the pigeon thing in San Antonio, but just do the hogs.
the feral hog shit.
Yeah, that everyone's always complaining about. Just like,
dude, it's a thing.
It is.
It's a serious problem.
No, I live towards the outskirts of town, and they're everywhere.
Absolutely. So, speaking of esports here, before we get to the break, because we only have a couple of minutes, it is growing, and I'd like for it to be a bigger segment of this show because I think it deserves a spot. The Rio in Las Vegas will open up a 24,000 square foot esports venue to include 30 high performance Alienware PCs. And this is in addition to a 30,000 square foot arena at the Luxor.
My goodness.
The Luxor is going to have a 30,000 square foot esports venue. I mean, that's two in Vegas. Planet Oasis it's a theme park in and of itself. Is going to open up a location in Columbus, Ohio. That'll have a 30,000 square foot arena. And Planet Oasis this location is going to be twice the size of Disneyland.
Oh wow!
Not the esports part. I mean the overall park.
Yeah, just the park itself. Yeah.
And now I get word that Arlington, of course, Texas, it's got to be Texas because everything's bigger here, will look to build the largest esports venue in North America. That includes our Canadian friends. Hi, how you doing?
Hey, what's up?
Happy Canada Day to y'all. 100,000 square feet. That's twice the size of a football field. Well, almost. It's close.
Gosh.
Almost twice. So you picture a football field in your head.
Yeah.
If you've ever been on a field, I mean, it looks different on TV, but if you've ever been on a field, it's huge.
It's huge, yeah. when you're standing on
Picture
it.
something almost twice that size dedicated to esports. And they're going to host 30 events the first year they open.
Wow.
Just
That
the first
is-
year. So if you guys aren't paying attention to esports, keep following our show because I want to keep doing updates on this. And this thing is huge.
Yeah. So my thing with the venues, right, is you have to think, like, who's going to be the internet provider for these venues?
The bids will be monstrously
Yeah,
huge.
that's going to be insane. That or they're going to just work out deals like, oh, we'll provide you internet if our logos are on everything.
Yeah, probably something like that.
It's going to be like that.
I imagine in Arlington it would be AT&T because, well, first they just bought out Time Warner, so that would make sense.
What is in Arlington? I feel like
AT&T Stadium.
The
Also
Texas
known as,
you're right. You're right.
also
You're
known
right.
as Dallas Cowboys Stadium.
I'm thinking of Lubbock for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
Well,
to
there you have Texas Tech
Yeah, and railroad tracks.
and railroad
It had a
tracks.
lot of railroad
Yeah.
tracks. I mean, listen to some of these prize pools that have come out. League of Legends World Championship last year was just a shade under $5 million prize pool. The International 2015, so this was 3 years ago. The International 2015 was $18.4 million as a prize pool.
Oh my!
Jeez.
And now the one that they just had last year was 24.6. So you can imagine what next year will be like. I mean, or this year, championships ought to be just huge. The Boston Major, the Frankfurt Major, Kiev Major, monstrously huge esports pools out there. All right, so we're up against the hard break. We'll be right back here on Freedom 1160 and freedom1160.com.
Hey guys, it's Taylor Gray, the voice of Ezra Bridger of Star Wars Rebels, and you're listening to Get Your Geek On.
All righty, welcome back from the bottom of the hour news break. This is Get Your Geek On Freedom 1160 Talk Radio, powered by the Texas Renaissance Festival. With over 650,000 people attending the event from September 29th to November 25th, get your tickets now at texrenfest.com. I'm Dave Gramillion, and if you missed the first half of the show, we had a bit of Marvel news that we talked about, including the possibility, getting a little stronger, of a Howard the Duck reboot.
Yeah,
oh
buddy.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Can't wait. Be first in line for that one.
You probably camp out for that one, right?
No, there's no need to camp out with the internet nowadays.
You'll get reserved seats, but you'll still camp out.
No, this
line,
is
Yes.
line starts behind me. Okay,
this
I'm
is
just saying.
Star Trek.
Oh, okay, I see how it is.
Star Trek or Star Wars?
Star Trek.
We also
make
talked.
sure you're right this week.
Dun, 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 dun.
We also talked an awful lot of esports news because there's an awful lot of esports news to talk about. Where some of the largest venues are going to be, the largest prize pools this year, which games are up for grabs, and the World Electronic Sports Games with 65,000 players from 206 countries will be coming very soon to an esports venue near you. Alrighty, if you missed any of that, you can hear it all on our award-winning podcast. That's right, we are the best podcast in San Antonio 2017, as voted on by San Antonio Magazine. All of our shows, no matter if they're on air or whatever, get automatically loaded right to our podcast, which you can download and listen to anytime, anywhere, any place on your mobile device over on iTunes, Stitcher, or Omni.
And Google Play.
And Google Play. There you go. So we're on that one as well. Very cool. All right, so
Also on TuneIn.
we're on TuneIn too? Uh-huh. Oh, very cool. TuneIn as well?
Yes.
Very cool. All right, well, then let's go ahead and shift gears, and we got a little bit of Star Wars news to get into.
I'm looking forward to completing your training. In time, you will call me Master.
So I caught a Capitol 4th on PBS because, 4th of July and all that fun stuff. And guest conductor, John Williams.
Heck yeah.
Oh, wow.
Very cool. The guy looks like as young as he ever has. I don't think he ages.
Yeah, he was always 65.
Pretty much. He doesn't age anymore. He levels up. That guy's pretty much immortal at this point. Alrighty, so this news brought to you by our friends over at Dragon's Lair Alamo Ranch location on the west side of San Antonio off of 151 and 1604. Guys, there is so much to do over at Dragon's Lair on that location. They have events, they have tournaments, they have tabletop games, they've got comics and graphic novels and plush figures, and they have just about everything you could ever possibly want crammed into one location right there. That's our friends Dragon's Lair Alamo Ranch. All right, so there's been a lot of, hashtag no more and force out the hate and things like that going on, a lot of harassment going on. And so James Gunn, director of Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2, decided to come out, and he sounded off on his Twitter.
Did you hear about the story that came out this week? Probably an old story about the guy who played Jar Jar?
Yeah, Ahmad Best.
Yeah.
Yeah, how he was almost driven to suicide.
He almost wanted to commit suicide over the Jar Jar hate.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
That is absolutely nuts.
I mean, and that was more vicious than the Jake Lloyd hate. I mean, the Jar Jar hate was real.
The episode 1 hate was just, it was a real deal.
That too. I mean,
it's crazy because the internet wasn't as prominent, I think, back then, right?
Not even close.
No.
Not even close to what it is today. It was a shadow of it.
I had to have literally been sending him hate mail.
If episode 1 came out today, I guarantee there probably would have been suicides. I know I just guaranteed probably, but seriously though, if you think the hate for The Last Jedi is real and the hate against Kelly Marie Tran is real,
yeah.
Oh, Jake Lloyd would have to go into hiding.
Jake Lloyd and Ahmed Best both.
Because back then you had to put effort into hating someone. You had to go find them. You had to go look through the phone book. Today, you just type it on Facebook.
Pretty much, and it's already there.
So, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all of that would be gone for those two.
So James Gunn, who's the director of Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2, has come out on his Twitter and said, quote, Star Wars or any movie may be important to you, but it doesn't belong to you. If your self-esteem depends on how good you think a current Star Wars movie is, or your childhood is ruined because you don't like something in a movie, and then he types this in all quotes, or in all caps, go to therapy. Which, of course, now people have taken a run with saying, oh, my God, the director said you're a mental case and all that. Let me put it to you this way. If your hate is that strong, you need therapy.
So a part of me wants to go back to 1986 and Saturday Night Live.
Because?
William Shatner was the host of that particular point.
He was indeed.
And he goes, and I'll tell you right now, look, I'm a Star Trek fan. I'm a big-time Star Trek fan, and I can quote things that nobody should be able to quote in their lives. So I'm going to tell you people who want to remake movies that were done by professionals, who got paid real money by a real studio, by a real distribution company, and you want to remake those movies, and you want to send hate mail to the actors who worked diligently to be cast in those roles, get a life.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Now,
get a life.
Now, this is coming from a guy over here who actually did rewrite the prequels in novel form. These are like 90,000-word novels. These are serious novels that I wrote. But even I wasn't, stupid enough to say that, my work is better than George Lucas or, mine should be made into movies just because.
No, he let other people say it for him.
Well, what am I supposed to do? Police the internet? Give me a break. But seriously, though, I mean, the hate is so strong. If you wake up, if you get your head up off the pillow in the morning and your first thought is, God, I hate The Last Jedi and I can't stand Kelly Marie Tran, dude, you've got issues.
Oh, yeah.
You've got real issues.
You've got subscriptions at that point.
That's true. You'll start a YouTube channel. There are 1,000 channels out there with 1 billion subscribers, all of whom hate The Last Jedi with fiery passion because apparently you have nothing better to do in your life than hate things.
My brother and I were talking about this over the weekend about how, directors, producers, studios, they work for years on these movies. Like, it's like a 2 to 3 year process to make a single film, right? And all that money, all that effort, all those hundreds or potentially thousands of people who touch this movie, they do all of that work for a neckbeard on the internet to go, I didn't like it.
Exactly.
Yeah, like, who cares?
Not only is it you didn't like it, but I'm going to dedicate every waking moment
to saying how much I hate it.
To saying how much you hate
how much I hate 3 years worth of labor out of someone else's life.
Now, a lot of people are going to point to Red Letter Media. And Red Letter Media just ripped the prequels apart, and yes, they trashed it. But at no point did they ever say that they would remake the prequels and it'd be better. And at no point did they ever direct any hate or say that this person should never make a movie again, or this person should die, or this person should be ashamed.
They poked fun.
I mean, the director of the EPA resigned this week because of the hate he and his family were getting.
Jeez.
A cabinet member, at least I think he's on the cabinet, resigned from the Trump administration because of hate. I mean, at no point should it ever get to this degree.
Definitely.
So I have to be honest, after watching Revenge of the Sith, I said George Lucas should never make another movie again.
And then he made Red Tails, and people were like,
George Lucas should never make another movie again.
and then he made that, what was that, Strange Magic. And people were like,
George Lucas should never make another movie again.
But at no point are you saying that George Lucas should die.
No, not at all.
At no point are you saying that, he should, people should go, throw bricks through his windows.
I think you should go to his DuckTales Vault of Money and swim in it.
There you go.
Yeah, just you didn't enjoy his work, and that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, you just didn't particularly like that project.
Buy one of the Hawaiian Islands and just kind of hang out.
Yeah,
that's true. It. Go for it. You can do that now.
More power to you, George. Don't just let today's directors tell today's stories.
And yes, I agree.
My official stance on anybody who hates Star Wars that much is this: I feel so sorry for you. You are a pathetic individual who deserves sympathy and pity.
Dang, hot takes.
If you have that much hate inside of you for something that, first of all, you have no control over, secondly, you can stop watching it any time, and third, you can just move on with your life to something more productive, then there is something wrong. I have to admit, there is something that is not healthy about that, and probably ought to seek a little help about it. I don't think James Gunn is wrong.
No.
I don't think he is. Matthew McConaughey would agree with me.
He
Yes, he would.
James Gunn can't be wrong. The writer of Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed can never be wrong.
No, he never can be. That's impossible.
Yeah, no, especially when you write such a great piece of film like that.
Look, I will, in the immortal words of one Buzz Lightyear, you are a sad, strange little man, and you have my pity. Farewell.
I love the way he did that, too. The way Tim Allen read that was, you are a sad, strange little man, and you have my pity. It's so quiet. It's just like, it's so serious.
Like he's so calm and collected.
It's literally like, dude, there is something wrong with you, and you have my pity. But now I'm going to go hop in this Pizza Planet truck, and I'm going to go get out of here.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Okay. So it's officially July. It won't be long before it's mid-July, which makes my wife very unhappy. She's a school teacher, which means she's getting closer and closer to having to go back to school. Stop sleeping in until, 9, 10 o'clock. And yeah, she's not happy
Has she
about that.
pulled out the blue blanket yet and said, there's no way out, there's no way out?
Not quite, but she does. She loves to do this. All right, so I get up about 5 o'clock in the morning and I go to work.
Jeez.
And what she does is she just kind of pulls the covers up a little tighter and just goes, nee, as I'm walking out the door. So
See, if it were me, I'd spread out. It's like, finally out of myself.
The whole bed.
What time do you get up for work, Goose?
That's none of your business.
Well, I'm wondering because David's over here getting up before God's awake.
Yeah, that's right. 5 dark 30, man. It is. It is early.
What time does it say on your telescope?
Alrighty then. So the first half of the year is down. The second half is coming up, and I thought it'd be nice to kind of do a little bit of a reflective, a little retrospective, and talk about, what franchise has really killed it, and which one has just kind of been killed in the first half of the year. What can we look forward to going forward? So I've got my little report card here that I lined up, and y'all can chip in and chime in as we go.
Definitely.
For the DCEU, I give them a B, maybe a B minus. There's no movie. There's no DCEU movie out except for Justice League was last year.
That's why they're above average.
Yeah, that'll be why.
But didn't Justice League's runtime kind of go into January?
It kind of felt like it a little bit. But right now, Shazam looks to be kind of a fun movie.
Mm-hmm.
No, okay. Wonder Woman 2 is generating plenty of buzz.
Definitely.
And the DC Universe app announcement was well received. So I give them a B for the time being. Now, they do have Aquaman coming up at the end of the year, but we'll get to that here in a second. How would you rate the DCU? About a B right now, B minus?
Yeah, I mean, it's like as a report card, I'm the teacher right now going like, okay, you got like a C or a D at the end of last semester, but I'll start you off with a B. Yeah. Maybe you'll do something. You're kind of holding out hope that Timmy's going to turn in his homework because he says he's doing it. But
he says he's doing it. He's working on it.
And then he says, oh, actually, that homework isn't going to happen. I'll turn in different homework now.
Now, Goose, you're the resident DC fanatic here. So what do you think the B minus pretty good for them?
So hold on. We need to get some differentiation here. Are we talking the DCEU as in the movies or the entire DC apparatus?
I would kind of limit it to the movies. I give them credit for the app just because it was some good news and it's going to contain some of the DCEU in it.
Okay, so with that, I'm going to give it a B minus then.
Okay.
Because there's been no movie thus far. Marvel has had 2 movies thus far.
3.
3 movies. Okay, yeah, 3 movies, including Ant-Man and the Wasp. which means that they're it, right? They're done for the year?
They're done for the year.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Captain Marvel's in March, right?
Next spring.
Yeah.
So, no movie. The DC Universe app, just take my money.
Yeah,
much.
no kidding.
Take my money. But if we're keeping it just to that, then I'm going to go with a B-. I can't give them a B, mainly because they haven't had a movie, and they haven't even released a trailer for a movie.
Now, if we want to shift gears to the other side of the coin here, Marvel, I give them an A+. A+. They're killing it. Black Panther killed it. Infinity War killed it. Ant-Man and the Wasp. Well, the jury's still out, but it's probably going to do very well. So 3 movies, they're 3 for 3. They just nailed it across the board. A+ for me.
Yeah, B.
Clickbait gives it a B?
Yeah.
Why is that?
My thing is that the expectation for Marvel is a little higher now because they're like DC is in regulars math.
Right.
And Marvel is in like pre-AP, like Algebra 27, trying to get ready for the college course. And Marvel, while Black Panther was great, we've seen, even though it's different and it's stylized, we've seen the same thing in Ant-Man. We've seen the same thing in the first Iron Man. We've seen the same thing in the Doctor Strange. So the formula is still being followed. And I feel like they're not taking enough risks with it. Infinity War was the one exception. Like, that was the test grade that's like, that's perfect. And then, even though I haven't seen Ant-Man as of yet, from the reviews that I've read so far, like you said, it's good. It's a pretty fun movie, but it's nothing, again, that appears to be breaking the mold.
Okay, Goose, Marvel, report card. Go.
With Marvel, I'm going to have to say a good solid A. I wouldn't necessarily give it an A+, mainly because you didn't do proper spacing in your movies to have something at the back-to-school time or even the holiday time period. You're leaving that up to Star Wars. Or now there's no Star Wars this year either.
No.
In Christmas, there's no Star Wars. So, yeah, A, because, Avengers Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was really good because that's still Marvel Cinematic Universe there. That kicked off. You had another new series come out on Freeform, A Cloak and Dagger. You killed it at the movies. Ant-Man and the Wasp, while it's not going to do as well as Infinity War, because really what could, outside of the sequel, it's going to do well for what it is, which is a fun little, cleansing of the palate. And that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. So you're going to get an A. You're not going to get an A+ from me, though, because I hold you to a bit high of a standard.
This kind of reminds me of that episode of King of the Hill where they're at the Cowboys training camp.
Yeah.
And Bobby says he's going to give Michael Irvin a B+ for giving room to improve. And Hank says, good job there, son. And he says, I'm also going to give Troy Aikman a B+ too. And Hank Hill says, oh, that's not funny, Bobby.
Dang it, Bobby, that's
Really?
not funny.
Alrighty, so moving on, Star Wars. The Star Wars franchise, I got to give him a C+. Solo, it did poorly at the box office, but it was liked by the fan. There's some new content out there, but again, it's gotten mixed reviews from a lot of people. Forces of Destiny's getting a lot of mixed reviews from people. It's really right at a C+ because there's such mixed reviews from people.
Yeah, similar to Marvel, I'm going to kind of stick with a B on them as well because I really...
Whoa. You're putting Star Wars at the same level as Marvel for the year.
To be fair, again, Star Wars, to me right now, is currently in the same boat as DC. They're in like regulars math. Marvel's just on a different grading scale, in my opinion. So, but Star Wars, for the one movie that they've let out this year, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it got a lot more hate than that movie deserved. So I'm saying a B.
All right, so Clickbait gives that one a B also. Goose, Star Wars franchise report card, first half of the year.
I'm going to go with just a regular C, not even a C-, not even a C+ on that one. Solo did bad. You did not do a good enough job of really combating the Last Jedi hate. You let people believe that they could make their own Star Wars movie. No, they can't. It's just not cool. I don't think you reacted well with Solo. I haven't seen it yet, but it's probably the adjusted for inflation, lowest grossing Star Wars movie to date.
Yeah.
There was actually no need to make it in the first place. Nobody was really wanting that origin story of Han Solo. Rogue One, there was a need for because everybody wanted to see that, but nobody wanted to see this.
So Star Trek, moving to that side of the coin, I'm going to give it just an incomplete right now. There's no Discovery for the year. There's not a lot of news other than rumors about we're going to get new content and what it's going to be and will it be Academy and will it be I've heard of Next Generation Reboot. Where are we getting Patrick Stewart? Are we not getting Patrick Stewart? Blah, 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 blah. I'm hearing a lot of rumors, nothing that's really solidly confirmed. So right now for me, Trek is an incomplete. Give him an INC. Clickbait?
Yeah, for me, I don't even teach this class. I'm not a Star Trek guy. So I think Goose, right on to you.
Wow, I don't even have time. Okay. So here we go. So I'm going to do a little bit better than David. I'm going to give you a C+ Star Trek, and here's why. You have done well at times when you've had 2 concurrent series running at the same time. You've never done 3, 4, let alone 5. And 1 is currently in production, 4 more in development, all run by Alex Kurtzman, which he did a good job with the Abrams-verse. I like Discovery. I wish Brian Fuller had stayed on. But whatever. The comic books are doing good, but again, it's what Dave said at the beginning of the show. The technology difference between the original series and Discovery is so much that I can ignore it if you stay away from the Enterprise. I can ignore it if you stay away from a Constitution-class starship. But the point is that you recast Captain Christopher Pike, and therefore we know there's going to be the Enterprise. And if it's just the exterior, okay, fine. But it's going to be the interior, and you recast Spock. I'm sorry, but when it comes to that era of Star Trek, it's Jeffrey Hunter and Leonard Nimoy or nothing. And guess what? Neither one of them you can get. So why even do it in the first place? I mean, the comics are okay. The comics are good. I like those. Discovery's good as it stands. You don't need to keep bringing original series stuff into it. And if you can get Patrick Stewart to do any type of Captain Picard stuff, I'm there with you. But I just don't have a lot of faith that you're going to be able to execute well what you've set out for yourself.
So that's the first half of the year. That's our report card on it. Now we look forward to the second half of the year. And there's not much going on immediately. Yeah, there's Ant-Man and the Wasp right now, but there's kind of like a geeky hiatus for the time being. So let's break it down franchise by franchise about what we got expectations-wise coming forward. The DCEU needs a home run with Aquaman.
Oh, yeah.
They need an absolute home run to keep things going, to give people reason to come back and watch Shazam. Mm-hmm. Because if Aquaman lays an egg, then it's going to be, they're DC, they're doing the same thing again. And Shazam needs some good news. They need a really solid trailer. They need to make it look like Shazam should look.
Definitely.
Goose, I know you've got some strong feelings about the DCEU needs.
I was going to let Clickbait go first.
Okay,
yeah. No, so I've told you this before, is excited as I am about Aquaman, I feel like Shazam's going to be the big sleeper hit. And as long as Aquaman's good, so's Shazam.
I agree with that.
Okay, very cool. Marvel, if Ant-Man stumbles, and I mean, like right now they're projecting 75 to 85 million opening weekend, give or take. The opening weekend for the first Ant-Man was 56. If Ant-Man stumbles and only does like 60 or 65, is that a chink in the armor for Marvel? Or is that just people are just like, meh, whatever, it's Ant-Man?
I mean, it'd be terrible for me because then I'd lose.
Well, that too.
No, I think, Marvel operates at a point now to where even if these movies don't do amazing, they can take that loss.
So this is the last movie for Marvel 2018. Goose, what do you think?
I don't think that it would show a weakness because there's still the Infinity War hangover. And people may want to see the lead up to Infinity War, not necessarily a palate cleanser. So I think if Ant-Man and the Wasp stumbles, it's okay because they're going to go to see Captain Marvel. And then Infinity War 2, whatever that title is actually going to be, people are going to come out in droves for that one.
Now,
definitely.
Expectations for Star Wars in the second half of 2018, for me, it's just something concrete. We need to stop the rumors, stop the speculation.
Yes.
The Lucasfilm PR team needs to get on the ball and squash some of these rumors, squash the speculation, and put out something concrete. Mm-hmm. What is the Rian Johnson trilogy going to be about? What is Resistance going to be about? Let's get something actually confirmed that's not, clickbait.
Yeah.
Clickbait, what do you think?
Well, I mean, I think, to me, nothing is ever, because DC's shown us this over and over again, nothing is a movie until it's in production and they're filming something. So even though we've had, confirmation that Rian Johnson's trilogy is coming, to me, it doesn't exist until we have anything written down or anything that's going into production. I don't care about what James Mangold might be doing. I don't care about what Kevin Smith might be involved with. Like you said, there just needs to be something that comes out that confirms something.
Goose, your expectations for Star Wars going forward?
I think it's going to be a lot more of the same that we've got. There's not going to be any confirmation of anything until something starts shooting, which is quite honestly how it should be. But they shouldn't allow the rumors. They shouldn't even have a rumor mill going on. Should Ryan Johnson tell us what the next trilogy is about? No, because I don't think he knows what it's going to be about yet, to be honest with you.
At least give us something.
No, they don't owe us anything.
No, I'm not saying
but Marvel has the next 5 years written out. You would think they would have the next 5 months written out.
I'm not saying Star Wars owes us anything, but I think that what they need to do is they need to control the news cycle. And now, the news cycle is controlled by YouTube.
They need to control the narrative, which I think,
right.
by and large, has been the problem with Warner Brothers, with the DCEU, and Lucasfilm with Star Wars. You've let the critics control the narrative.
Yeah, absolutely. The YouTube neckbeards.
And Zack Snyder.
Call him now.
Yeah, and Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
Bury that Snyder cut as far as it can go down and tell us it's never going to happen.
With expectations with Star Trek in the second half of this year, same as Star Wars. What's the Quentin Tarantino movie about? What about some news for season 2 of Discovery? What's the animated series about? Are we getting Academy? Patrick Stewart's role? What's going on? They need to control the news cycle instead of letting the YouTube neckbeards do that. And that's my expectation for Star Trek going forward.
Yeah, that's kind of mine too. I mean, if there's 4 series in development, narrow it down. Let us know what those series are. Let us know who you have contractually involved. Don't let us know, oh, we'd like to have so-and-so. No. Stop that nonsense. Let us know who you have contracted, when production's going to start, and roughly what it's going to be, and how you're going to right the wrongs, how you're going to mitigate the fan craziness that you started when you allowed the Enterprise to show up in Discovery.
Now, right now, it's a slow time, like I mentioned, for geeks right now. There's no Marvel after this weekend. There's no DC until Aquaman, and there's no Star Wars for another 18 months. Discovery doesn't come out until next year sometime. They haven't even released when season 2 is coming out.
Neither have they with Orville.
However, we are getting a Venom movie done by Sony.
I'm excited.
Well, I'm apprehensive because it's Sony. The same guys who did Ghostbusters 2 and Amazing Spider-Man and all that. We are getting a Bumblebee standalone. Dude, December is going to be crazy this year.
Bumblebee looks really good.
December is going to be just jam-packed with good movies. And we are getting a Spider-Man animated film.
Yeah.
So at least we got that going on, but it's going to start to get a little quiet around here. Speaking of which, so the music's playing, which means it's time to wrap it up. If you want to tweet at us, you can find us at GYGO_radio. You can shoot me an email at davethehost@getyourgeekon.org. For Goose, for Alex, and for myself, I want to thank our sponsors, the Texas Renaissance Festival.
I'm sorry, for Goose and you and who else?
Clickbait. Texas Renaissance Festival, Dragon's Lair, Alamo Ranch, Havoc, and the Mailing Spot. Y'all make sure to get your geek on every single day.